What we want to do this evening is to let you know that something will be done in order to seek vindication of his death.
All right.
Because we have on the team, if not leading the team, a nationally prominent gentleman, Mr. Ben Crump. He was the lawyer for Trayvon Martin. We live in a place now where there are two standards of justice, but that's most places in Arkansas where you have biracial populations and people are yearning for freedom. He didn't hurt anybody all those years, but because of the fact that he wanted to be independent, and because he had a weapon, as he's authorized to have, in his residence, the police decided that they were going to do something to show that he didn't have the right to control himself. And that's where we start. I now want...
My mentor, Attorney Walker, gave me a lot of credit, but the real credit goes to you all.
Say that.
It goes to the people who see an injustice and refuse to stay silent.
Say that.
You know, Attorney Walker and I, we can file pleadings, we can fight every day, all day, but if we're by ourselves and the people won't stand up,
Say that.
then there's no way we will get justice for the Trayvon Martins of the world, the Jordan Davises of the world, and yes, the Monroe Isadores of the world. And, you know, for him to have to die this way,
Die, murdered,
just inhumane. I know Attorney Lawrence Walker and I were talking, and we said this, you know, we watched the video we're about to show you, and he said, you don't kill a dog. You know, you would be heartbroken if a dog was killed like this. Wouldn't hurt a fly. But yet, you're about to see this video of the last minutes of his life. And we're going to ask you to consider some very serious questions. And I want to publicly say to them what I've said privately. Thank you all for fighting. Thank you all for fighting, not letting them get away with this for your father in the courtroom. We want to appeal to your sense of humanity and just ask you to think for a second. If this was your grandfather, if this was your father, what would you want your neighbors to do? Would you want them to stand with you?
We've requested stuff which he has not provided, even though he's out of time. And there will be more things that we're going to ask for, such as the rest of the video, the audio communication between officers on the night in question. And we intend to keep the pressure on until we get everything that the public is entitled to under the law.
So there are a lot of questions, and I pray that all of you all that are here now, all of you all that knew my father, please step up your game. Help us get some justice for him. It ain't about no coins, okay? It's not about that.
This was not a long negotiation, if you can call it that. It was less than 90 minutes before they said, let's go take them out. Don't you think, as she just said, Mr. Isadore would have fell asleep on the bed?
Yes, he would.
And they would have had the video camera, they would have saw when he went to sleep. So we gotta talk to our children. So they got all these computers, this Facebook and this Twitter. We need to blow up social media with everybody seeing this video and expressing their outrage and calling to the governor of Arkansas's office and his special prosecutor who made the decision that the police did nothing wrong when they shot their father 8 times. Y'all saw those pictures. I mean, in his head, took off his arm, in his heart. I mean, we got to let them know that Mr. Isadore represented the best of us. And if they can do that to Mr. Isadore, are any of us safe?
No.
Also, we got to go vote. I understand there's an election coming around, right, Mr. Mayor?
Come out. I suggest to you that when you start looking to determine what murder is, you have certain things that are present. You generally have premeditation. At some point, premeditation is manifest by an intent to do something to harm somebody. And in this situation, they had the option of helping or harming. And in this situation, they went in to help him by shooting him. After the tear gas has been thrown in, they're going to help this man who had done nothing toward them.
Preach.
That's premeditation, in my opinion. Now, what was the motive? Well, they didn't want to be bothered with this nuisance. That's really the only motivation. He's a nuisance. We got more things and better things to do. We got some more crimes to solve. More of these people who are always committing crimes. But because he was a nuisance, and he was an old man, and he did not wear a shirt and tie like I, or live in a big house or drive a big car, and he had no stature that the police could recognize or had to recognize, he was dispensable. And they went in and said, we'll get rid of him and go on and get rid of somebody else a little bit later. And that's the mentality that you have to work with. And as you all contemplate whether you'll go to city council and let your voices be heard, bear in mind that we're dealing with a mentality of oppression, especially toward people who have no power. Well, we're going to send a message this time that this hopeless and this helpless man is not going to be forgotten, and that we are going to try to do something to twist the equation so that persons like Mr. Isadore, who don't wear ties, who don't drive big cars, who don't have jobs, who may have no future, like many of our young people, that they cannot be subject to this kind of oppression and what I consider to be murder. Out of this death, there is hope for us, because we can again understand that we're all in this together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we have or where we live. When it comes down to that gun in the hands of persons who do not like us and who do not respect us, we're all the same. And for the few white brethren who are here, you are just like the rest of us because you align yourselves with us. But this is a nation. As I said, as lawyers, we have a law book. And we can go and file a lawsuit, and the only thing you can get from that is money. But this family does not want just money. They want more than that. They want the community to come together. They do not want this kind of thing to continue. And they want to make sure that those people who represent us represent all the people and ensure that those kinds of things that happened to Mr. Isadore are not repeated.
All right.
Thank you all for coming.